This time I'm responding to the cool Carnivore again. I will be responding to a couple articles from him showcasing why he's wrong about many things. Red meat causes cancer debunked is the name of the first article. This story is 100% true, I promise. I was eating at a restaurant down the street from where I live one time. Joining me were my fiance and 4 friends of ours. When we placed our orders with the waiter, I requested a bacon burger with an additional patty instead of a bun, extra cheese, and some additional bacon on the side. Total, it was probably about 16 ounces of meat. Gross. No big deal, but and my friends were already accustomed to my eating habits. The waiter happily took our request and off he went. Like I said, it sounds disgusting. I will explain what all is wrong with that order using science. Red meat consumption has been associated with an increased risk of total mortality, cardiovascular disease mortality, and cancer mortality. On average, there are 64 times more antioxidants in plant foods than animal foods. The animal protein in meat may have a pro-oxidant effect. This is because red meat restricts blood flow to your arteries, which causes clogging of your arteries. Boom, heart attack or stroke. The only way to achieve a 0% chance of having a stroke or heart attack is to get your LDL, which is the lethal cholesterol, under 40. The World Health Organization claims that a lot of red meat intake causes colon cancer. I can't remember the last time I had to cook an order like that. Exactly, using the science that I above. Note this was industry funded. The American Cancer Society states overall diets that are high in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, and low in red and processed meat have been linked with a lower colorectal cancer risk, although it's not exactly clear what factors are important. My dad ate a very low fiber diet and he got colon cancer. He beat it with surgery. He is the oldest. Next one, his next brother, didn't live long enough to develop health problems. The next one died of colon cancer. After thinking about it, I figured there had to be a better way to deal with this. My next thought was diet. In regards to prostate cancer, which my grandfather had, and he beat, he's gone though. Analysis on 26 studies investigating red meat and processed meat. Its role in cancer has concluded that consumption of red or processed meat have no association with prostate cancer. Well, if you look at non-industry funded studies, then you will see the opposite effect. Trimethylamine N oxide TMAO is a controversial compound the researchers has apparently linked to colon cancer. Red meat has high levels of choline and L-carnitine amino acids, which gut bacteria can metabolize into TMAO. When you combine choline and carnitine, it makes TMAO, in the words of Hench Herbivore, the molecule from hell. Because high TMAO levels correlate with high TMA and dimethylamine, which can undergo nitrization, which potentially causes cancer. People seem to think that TMAO causes cancer. Fake news. There's mounting evidence that TMAO has a protective effect from the genesis of cancer because it corrects the mutation of the protein from the Cleveland Heart Lab. The trouble with TMAO is that data shows that high levels contribute to a heightened risk of clot-related events such as heart attack or stroke, even after researchers take into account the presence of conventional risk factors and markers of inflammation that might skew the results. In the most recent analysis, scientists showed that high levels of TMAO were associated with higher rates of premature death in a group of 2,235 patients with stable coronary artery disease. Those found to have a higher blood levels of TMAO, the molecule from hell again, had a 4-fold or greater risk of dying from any cause over the subsequent 5 years. Choline and L-carnitine are the only things that cause that. The worst foods for them are red meat and eggs. Yeah. There's simply not enough reliable research to prove that the cancer risk of eating red meat is worth living a joyless life without red meat. Funny you mention that. I don't eat red meat. Haven't for several years, and I love life. There are too many health benefits associated with nutrient-dense superfood of red meat. Remember, folks, red meat is food for optimal health and performance. Really, about that, Joy, I haven't had red meat in now 7 years, and I feel great, and I generally love life. I'm on the autism spectrum, so I have a neurological problem that causes depressed moods and anxiety. Superfoods have a loose definition. To me, a superfood is one that doesn't contribute to disease and leads to a happy life. The second and final article I will respond to is eat liver, feel amazing. Liver is definitely one of the cool carnivore's favorite foods. Beef liver, chicken liver, pig liver, cod liver, I love it all. It should be a staple in the diet of every human on God's green earth. Why? Because it's a nutrient-dense superfood. Let's take a look at the nutritional information for 100 grams of calf and chicken liver. These two livers are comparable in nutrients. First, veal is one of the cruelest food on the planet. My grandfather, who was a dairy farmer of all things, never contributed to veal. Also, liver is hard to obtain in some areas, including mine, and it's very expensive. Why should you want a lot of vitamin A? Well, vitamin A is actually a group of organic compounds that have a wide variety of health benefits. These compounds include retinol, retinic acid, and beta-carotene. I consume the beta-carotene version. As a group, vitamin A is important for growth and development, vision, and maintenance of the immune system. When retinol combines with the protein opsin in the retina, the absorbing molecule, rhodopsin is formed. Molecule requires for color and low vision light. Now, this sounds crazy, but many carnivores have reported bouts of LSD vision after adopting an all-meat diet. There are many anecdotes of the carnivore diet providing an improvement in eyesight. That's another problem with the carnivore diet. It's anecdotal, not lab proven. I believe tremendous vitamin A content that certain organ meats provide as an explanation for this phenomenon. Well, too much vitamin A causes bone fractures. And if the body can convert beta-carotene easily into vitamin A, the body can. If you have a genetic mutation where it's not as easily converted, the solution is to eat more beta-carotene. Too much vitamin A and a lack of D and calcium causes bone fractures and osteoporosis. Carrots and other food noted for vision enhancement abilities gets orange pigment color from two connected retinol groups, which are used into the body to add vitamin A levels. It makes sense. Unfortunately, carrots are starchy vegetables filled with sugar. What's wrong with that? Carrots are healthy. Eat liver instead. Carrots are considered a starchy vegetable, but the carbohydrate content is low and it isn't that high in calories or sugar. And then he goes on to explain vitamin A's role in the immune system function is mainly the proliferation of T cells that control your body's immune response. T cells are even kill cancer cells directly with an increase in vitamin A intake. You're helping defend against cancer growth. Some important, and then he goes on to describe other vitamin A and B12 things. We can't forget about the obvious muscle building benefit of protein. Ditch the overly expensive protein shakes and powders and eat a beef liver and call it good. If you eat a whole foods vegan diet available to you, combine and the body gives all the essential amino acids that you need. We can't forget about the copper. Well, you can get copper that way, and that is the #1 source of copper for humans. There are 4 more ethical ways to get copper, though. Nuts, seeds, leafy greens, and shiitake mushrooms are great sources of copper. And one last thing I want to point out is also vegans have less deformed sperm and lighter periods in men and women respectively. So that's another reason to go vegan. Peace.